Sako's new 100. What do I think of it? And is it any good? Well, this week I hijacked Jonty's usual slot on Deer Gear to take a closer look at Sako's new flagship rifle. Sako are a great rifle. They're a really nice price point a lot of the time as well. But we're going up a little bit on the price on this one though, aren't we?
Yes.
Tell us more about it.
So this is the flagship.
Yeah.
It includes tons of features that we've never had before.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the top line from feature point of view and also from the price point of view. So the carbon version is going to be closer to 6,000, whereas the wooden version of this is going to be closer to 5,000.
You know, it's punchy, isn't it?
It is punchy, but with that money you get tons of features.
Well, let's look at that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we did a film on the Sako 90, and I'm super familiar with the 85. I've been using it for years and enjoyed it. What can we expect from the 100 that we don't get with those models?
Yeah, the first thing that is different between 90 or 85 and the Sako 100 is that the Sako 100 is a switch caliber rifle.
Okay.
So you can take the barrel out and replace with another caliber, and it's easily done. Any user can do it. It's just 2 screws here,
Yep.
and you're good to go.
Okay, so let's have a little look at this rifle. Well, it's a very, very tactile stock, isn't it? This is in the carbon, you refer to it as, but I can see these inlays are rubberized, aren't they?
Yeah, because plain carbon is quite slick and slippery, so we wanted to include tactile surface, a synthetic leather there that gives you that comfortable feel on the stock.
And the barrel, a fluted barrel, is that standard?
Yeah, so the carbon version will have a fluted stainless steel barrel, and even though it looks blued, it's actually Cerakote Elite and stainless steel underneath.
Is it now? Okay.
The wooden version will have a smooth barrel.
Okay. Now, interestingly, I've just picked this up, and I'm so familiar with the safety catch on the 85 and the 90. What's happened here? This is moved, hasn't it? Are you new to deer stalking? Perhaps you're unsure how to make a start. Well, we're here to help. I've been a professional deer stalker now for nearly 2 decades, and helping people make the right start is something that I feel very passionate about. The advice, well, it's completely free, so why not just pick up the phone and one of my team members or I will be happy to have a chat with you and point you in the right direction. I've left contact details in the description below.
Yeah, so the action is quite similar to 85 or 90 L action size, so the Magnum.
Yeah.
We have the 3-lock bolts, double plungers, but the safety is different, like you say.
Show me, because
So instead of having safety latch here on the side of the bolt shroud, actually the safety is at the end of the bolt shroud.
Okay.
And we're not talking about safety anymore, we're talking about manual cocking.
Okay.
So you can decock the rifle by pressing this small button.
Okay.
This button comes out, and now there is no tension in the firing spring. So the rifle is unable to fire. When you're ready to fire again, you just press this button, and now it goes.
Show us that again, because that's important, isn't it? Because, you know, a lot of people have been using this Sako 85, the Sako 90, they'll be familiar with the safety catch. It's on a rocker effect. It used to be a 3-stage, didn't it?
Yeah.
Back was in the safe position, forward to fire, and then you'd be able to depress another catch in order to unload the weapon in the safe position. But this has changed. This has really been turned all that on its head, hasn't it now?
Yeah.
And just show us that again for the audience, because I think that's really important.
Yeah, so once you have loaded the rifle, if you want to put the safety on, you press the small button here. The button comes out. Now you don't have any tension on the firing spring, and the bolt is locked. Nothing happens from the trigger. If you still want to open the bolt to eject the case or eject the round, you can by pressing this button here, opening the bolt. You close. It's still unsafe. When you're ready to fire, you just press this button. And
now, what you've done there effectively is you've increased an extra level of safety there,
yes,
haven't you?
Yes.
Because, you know, obviously with the 85 and the 90, you would have been walking around, and it's typical for a British stalker to walk around with a cartridge in the chamber and the safety catch applied. But what you've done here is effectively you've decocked the firing pin, haven't you?
Yes.
Which adds that extra element of safety, which is really, really nice feature. And what sort of reaction are you getting to this safety catch? Do you find that people find it quite intuitive?
People have different needs. So some people prefer to have extra safety and manual cocking. Some other hunters may find that like additional safety that they don't require. But definitely there is need for an additional safety.
Any other changes to the 100 that you wouldn't get on the 90?
Well, the trigger unit is a unique one. So in the Sako 90 we have 5-step adjustment in the weight of pull, from 900 grams to 1,900 grams.
What's that in pounds?
About 2 to 4 pounds.
2 4-pound ball.
Now in the 100 we start already in the 750 grams.
Yeah.
So that's going to be way under 2 pounds.
Okay.
And up to 1750 grams, and it's a six-step adjustment with numerical
But it's still in the
indicators.
same place, effectively.
Yeah, so you
That's
don't
what
need.
you did with the 90, wasn't
Yes.
it? So drilling a hole there in the trigger guard,
Yeah.
you said that you could access that.
That's right, and the trigger blade is adjustable the same as in Sako 90. Obviously, I mentioned the Cerakote Elite, which is the best Cerakote available. Also, the bolt body is coated, so. Whereas in Sako 90 we have bare stainless steel.
Yeah.
Here we have DLC coating, so diamond-like carbon, which increases impact toughness, and it also increases gliding properties. And while you
Increases gliding.
so when you apply a couple of drops of oil, it becomes very, very smooth, and it prevents corrosion as well.
Yeah. It's a very nice rifle, Donnelly, isn't it? There's no two ways about it. I love the carbon, I like the inlays, I like that action. How are people going to find that safety catch? I mean, that's going to be, do you think it could be a little bit Marmite?
Could be. It's one of those things that vary from country to country. We know that Central European hunters, they prefer to have manual cocking.
Well, you're getting it on the sours, you're getting it on the Larsas, aren't you? And this is Sako's interpretation of that manual cocking, isn't it, effectively? But it's your flagship rifle. You're looking at spending 5 or 6 grand to get one of these. You know, it's a cracking rifle, and it's available in plenty of places now.
We're now delivering. So we already launched this earlier, but now we're actually delivering. So your premium gun shops should have this available very soon.
Because I think this is interesting, isn't it? Because I think you told me that you launched it in 2022 initially, but it hasn't really been available up until now.
Yeah, that's right. So we had a little bit of work to do before we were ready to launch the product. So
and you think you got this one, you've nailed it now.
Yes.
You've got it absolutely bang on, haven't you?
Yeah. So we wanted to fine-tune every detail before we went to the market.
Yeah. What do I really think of the Sako 100? Well, when I reviewed the Sako 90 soon after its launch, I was a little critical of the lack of innovation. Conversely, with the Sako 100, there's heaps of innovation. It's just that Sako seem a little insecure about what they've arrived at. Why do I say this? Well, first of all, they announced this rifle a couple of years ago and then decided to hold it back. This always strikes me as an odd thing to do. Announce something and then reveal to the excited consumer that you can't have it. Then there is the new cocking system. Perhaps I'm wrong, but looking at the competition in this space, and specifically at rifles from Blaser and Sauer, who were the first to introduce mainstream cocking safety systems of this type, it seems as though the engineers at Sako have grown a little unsure of themselves, questioned their identity and wondered if they shouldn't be doing the same thing. Personally, I really liked the safety on the Sako 85 and 90. I thought it was in fact one of the strengths, but hey, maybe this type of system is just the future, and there's no doubt it makes for things to be a little bit safer. Indeed, the cocking system is good. I was initially unsure if I'd like it, but it does genuinely seem to work well and is easy to push on and off. I also like the third stage that it features. Does the rifle need a toolkit in the stock? Probably not, but I do like the fact that it's a takedown and that you can switch calibers due to the scope being mounted to the barrel. I also like the adjustable comb, which will ensure a good sight picture for all face types. The Sako 100 is undoubtedly a great rifle. and Sako have clearly put a lot of time and research into it, and in no small part, that I think is perhaps what you'll be paying for. Put simply, would I like one? Yes. Would I spend 5 to 6 grand on one? Now that's another matter. Of course, I spent 10K on a K95 for God's sake, so why do I balk at the 6K price tag for a Sako? Well, it's a Sako, and we're just not used to Sako in this upper end price category. Added to which, good as it is, I'm just not sure that I want the new cocking system. I'm further unsure that I would spend the extra cash. In truth, maybe I'd rather a 90 Ultra Quest, which I have to say looks great. Or maybe, if it's innovation that I'm after, a new Mauser 25. And so perhaps that's the best way to sum up the Sako 100. Like Sako themselves, I'm left in a bit of a quandary. I'm just a bit unsure about this one, and that in itself speaks volumes. So does it get our Deer Gear stamp of approval? Well, Jonty is a detail man, I'm not. So I'm just going to cut to it. For durability, performance, practicality, yada, 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 let's give it an 8 out of 10. For value for money, I'm giving it a 6. I just can't help but feel that the UK consumer is getting a bit ripped off at the moment. I don't say that just about Sako, but also about other rifles. I looked at the Tikka T3 at the show, and it's now a whopping 1,500 quid. The Blaser R8, it's eye-watering. That's why next time I'll be devoting a whole film to the best affordable rifles of 2025. So please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and you'll be notified as soon as that film comes out. As for the Sako 100, well, despite my ramblings and indecision, it scores a fairly healthy 38 out of 50, but unfortunately falls just short of our Deer Gear stamp of approval. Thanks for watching.